Hello, everybody. Duchess is here, however, but he's muted at the minute. He's on a phone call. But hey, there's just knows Mallory Gates is here, and there's Josh is here as well. I already said hello to Tabitha and Addie, and Duchess is here. Yeah, today I was going to talk about seasonal depression because I've seen it kicking in a few people. I'm feeling a little bit because I don't feel an extreme version of it, but I do every year, and the weather's changing, and I am starting to feel a little bit of that. Oh boy, it's Duchess. Yeah, it's like you never see Duchess, do you, Josh? Ever. So, that said, seasonal depression can be a lot of different things. It doesn't have to be depression. Some people get like a seasonal mania or just a really, it's not even so much a depression, but almost like an anxiety feeling from the change of weather. And it does affect people. I know most of us are from the same community of another specific thing, and that's dealing with some stress as well, and that can actually add layers to your situation. So please try to make sure that you're doing okay, and if you feel a little off, check on yourself a little bit and see if you can do something. Maybe it's time to have that movie night, that game night, whatever. Or and Jake's here. Go down to your dungeon in the cellar and start making something. Speaking of Jake, I love that black and green. That's awesome. Lethal's here. Lethal did something really special, by the way, for his fall depression. He got a new puppy today, and that actually definitely is something that'll actually perk him up in a huge deal. And I just thought it was really important we discuss it. Make sure you check on everybody. Tonight, I know tonight we're going to be talking. Most of us will be hopping over to Grim Green's channel. Hopefully he does the same thing and doesn't let everything that get to him and layer up. He needs to make sure he has a night where he just sits and relaxes. Larry just had a vacation. I'm sure he's feeling a little depression because he's got to go back to work. I think today was his first day back to work, if I'm correct. Good to see you, Larry, Mandalorian. And yeah, speaking of Spanish Rice V1, guess what? It's not terrible. It's actually pretty good. I can't believe I'm actually enjoying it. I thought it was going to be one of those hate vapes, but it's not. Yeah, Nick, relax. Exactly. That's why, as a community and as is for the people that are the yo-yoys and just people in chat, remind him he needs to take and settle back a little bit, not to let it get it overwhelm him, because this new tax is really taxing on a lot of us on our minds. I mean, I can't say it's not bothering me. It is. If it actually goes into effect, it's going to really seriously affect us in a major way. I can hear Duchess. So,
What up, motherfuckers?
yeah.
Sorry, I had to
And
call Kidney Puncher. I apologize.
no worries with that. That's some of the best wire. It really is. It's what's in the bag right there. Literally, I can touch it. See? Yeah, that's another thing. Spinning some wire, doing something like that. I know there's a few people here who do. I know Duchess does. I got Lethal in here does,
Yeah,
and you got me occasionally spinning wire as well because of. Actually, I had kind of slowed down on that until somebody started talking me into it, and he seems to be a contagious person to get people motivated to do things. Uh, and speaking of that motivation, I think you would agree with me and Duchess on giving Matt some credit for motivating a lot of people to get back into shape. Matt
yeah,
Sinister.
bro. 100, bro. That man is an inspiration to us all.
He truly is. It is awesome to see him getting back into shape, pushing himself, and he's getting there. He's truly getting there every week. Oh, that's right. She left a spoon in it because I'm gonna have more. Um,
Oh, Mallory, I'm really sorry about that. I really am. I mean, I kind of feel you on that. Like, fucking, Tim. I'm not gonna go into any detail. I mean, I called Tim yesterday. He understands what's going on with me right now. But aside from what's happening at home, I then forgot, and my brother sent me a text message today, which was a reminder for me that oh, what up, Addie? That I also have my grandma's memorial service coming up the first weekend of October, the first, second, and third. So I mean, I've also got that going on and everything else. So like, I definitely feel you with when it comes to being in your fields and having that depression kind of like start to set in and stuff like that. When it's involving your loved ones and everything else. So I
And
hope
as
you
far,
if you need anybody, we're here. I mean, we're all going through it together and shit like that. But I really do hope that you're okay, Mallory. 100.
yeah, Mallory, my son's birthday is December 29th, my son who's passed. So I completely understand with the holidays not being great. But you know what helps? Talking to family. And even if someone else is dealing with it, sometimes that like support group mentality really helps, especially when it's not so much a support group, it's just people actually going through it and that care. It makes a huge difference in someone's life.
Yeah, it does.
Oh no, not at home. Lando's out and about. There's a wild Lando on the loose, just so you know. So, and note to self: if you want your beard to not be lopsided, don't give in to the bunny and lay down right before the show, because you'll crush it. Yeah, yeah, I get that, and weather affects in a major way. I think
Wait,
that's one of the reasons.
Lando's not at home? I didn't even know you knew where the door was at, Lando.
Here we go. Yeah, Mallory. And the other thing is like Halloween is my favorite holiday. It always kind of has been, but it's my last holiday with my son before he passed. So for me, Halloween's like the big one, and then after that, it's kind of like I got to fight through it a little bit. Yeah, I'll give it to you again. I mean, I figured I actually called it before the show. I said someone's gonna want to show off their puppy. I had a feeling. I just had that feeling.
Yeah.
So
No, I get that, Mallory. Not being able to be happy around someone's birthday. Again, Tim with his son's birthday, and then mine is actually in mine's actually in August. So mine was last month, on the 7th, because 2 days before her birthday, my daughter was unfortunately in a car accident with her mom last year, and unfortunately didn't make it out of that accident alive. So I definitely understand when it comes to dealing with birthdays and loved ones and not being able to find any happiness. I mean, I'm not a happy
uh,
person in general, right? But just saying.
Mallory, have a smile birthday. Just give us each for each one of us here. Give us just one smile tomorrow. You don't have to be happy. Just give yourself a smile so that you can kind of. Sometimes it helps feel a little bit. This is kind of a Sean type thing. He actually, when he was on, he mentioned it, and I realized, sometimes that forced smile can actually help you feel a little bit better somehow. It's kind of weird. It does help a little, and every little bit counts. You can't ever get better all at once, and some things like anniversaries and birthdays, it doesn't really go away. It's like that with losing my son. It's a hole that'll always be there. It's just I've learned to deal with it in a more positive way, and
Yeah,
it's about all you can do.
right.
Yeah, but it's for sake of saying it anyway. Happy birthday for tomorrow, and I'll try to remember tomorrow too,
Yeah,
Mallory. But
yeah. Hopefully, it's a happy day for you. I mean, we understand it's not like a happy day, right? But happy birthday.
yeah, we're
Lethal,
happy
why are
you're
you in a
gonna.
weird place?
He didn't make it home. He went somewhere else. I don't know. And the link's right there, Lethal, if you want to come in. But and Addie, anyone, you guys are always welcome to come in. Um, Addie, I love you very much. Thank you for letting me know how your mom's doing. Because honestly, since she's been home, I've been, you know, it's that time of year. We got the seasonal depression thing kicking in. With everything being different for her. I do worry. Her coming
Yeah,
home and starting a whole new situation. It can be scary, and
right.
we want our family
100.
to be there.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, right? On that topic. Um, how, because obviously you live on the East Coast, right? So you deal with more seasons than I do. For here, it's just anger. That's it. It's just like, fuck, it's hot outside. Fuck this place, right? because it's the only season we get. It's just hot as fuck, but it doesn't change. Um, but being that you actually get seasons over there, right? You get to see the leaves change, and then eventually, like it turns into white, and and then the flowers come back. How how do you guys? Sorry, I have a sneeze.
Bless you. Even though
Thank
you
you.
hate that.
Sorry. Yeah, I hate that. Right in the middle of my conversation. How do you guys deal um, with seasonal depression, right? Because, like, I know I told you before the show, but I'll mention it again. I sent a passenger off today. He was going back to Detroit, and this dude, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be depressed, right? But it goes along the same lines where this guy was like, "Yeah, I'm about to just hibernate for the next 6 months because I know it's getting ready to be cold, right?" So how do you guys deal with it? Like generally speaking, in that area of the country.
One thing you can do, especially you might actually benefit from this if you do start feeling it, if you do ever come up with this way and stay. Wintertime, you get less sunlight. So sometimes a sun lamp or something like that can actually seriously make a difference. That is something that a lot of people do. Use a sun lamp, or maybe, it sounds kind of weird, but some people like to tan in the wintertime. Like go to the tanning booths and stuff. They are around. And that actually can help you kind of fill up on your vitamin D. Plus, you get that sunlight. It just makes it feel like you're having a little less, the bad weather. But in your case, you
Right.
might actually, someone coming from somewhere that hasn't had seasons, it might not be right away, at least for the first year or so. You might actually just be excited because you actually get to see seasons, because you basically deal with hot, hot, semi hot, and hot. That's about all you deal with year round. I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
it,
just that's what it is, bro. I showed up to work today and it's fucking 85 degrees outside at 3 o'clock in the morning.
and like Tabitha said, going for walks if you're able, like if you live in town, a little harder if you're out of the town, but you can still go snowshoeing. You can go cross country skiing. People do downhill skiing, snow tubing. There's things you can do in the winter. It's just if you're one of those people that doesn't like the cold, it does make it a little bit more. There's not a really better word than difficult. You just
Yeah.
Another thing is make sure you keep in contact with your loved ones and your friends. Maybe have a game night, card nights, or a game night if you like you've had with your family recently, playing Xbox. All the Jackbox games. If you can actually sit down
Mm-hmm.
with a group of people and play a
Yeah.
game like that helps a lot. I used to do a weekly thing with my local vape fam. We used to play D&D once a week, and we'd play the Jackbox games afterwards. Uh, that was a
Right.
great way to help with some of that depression, and having them around helped me through the holidays before
Right.
this online family grew.
Yeah.
Nate,
That's interesting. Good
walk
everyone
down the.
else says.
Yeah, oh, that'd be awesome. My beach is not really walkable in the wintertime, but going down to the beach for about 30 minutes round trip, sit and listen. Yeah, I have the stream right there, and I did it today. Went out and took care of the animals, watered some of the garden because it was a little bit dry in some spots. And I
Right.
walked over the stream over the bridge and just sat there and sat on the bridge and just listened to the water for a little bit. Soothing.
Yeah.
Such a soothing thing to do.
Yeah. I want to, you know what? I want to hear from Addie because I know where Addie is at
Yeah, we had this
and
discussion yesterday.
how, and as far north as he is, I want to know how Addie possibly deals with shit like that, if it even affects him in the first place.
I'm
You know,
sure it does affect him some. I have a feeling it's
especially
friends.
especially with all that water around him.
Oh yeah, that water does a little bit of both though. If he's close to the water, so he'll have that. The lake effect's bad there, and it's even worse if you get a little farther away. But when you're next to it, you get a little bit of that, like almost. It doesn't always. The wind will come across the water, so it does make it cold there if you have really strong wind. But if you don't have the strong wind, you're near the water. Sometimes it brings a little bit of a more temperate. It depends. It really depends on what the weather system is. It can go both ways. That water can be a blessing or a curse.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
We'll
when I,
see. Everyone that I see in here has some sort of a season.
yep,
Um, Lethal has seasons. Jake definitely has seasons. He lives next to Canada.
yep.
Mallory is in uh, Illinois. I know she's got seasons.
We
I
dealt with
just
that
get
today too,
hot.
Tabitha. We
I
had
just
such a
get
bad
hot as fuck.
storm. We had a bad storm last night, and she had a bad headache, low level migraine this morning, and I felt a little bit of it. From I get it from the weather, the quick changes in the the pressure
Yeah,
systems hits me
yeah.
with
Like
like a headache.
it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon here. You see this? 106 degrees. This is what we get. It's hot as
Yeah,
fuck.
we're in the
It's
70s, and this is actually
yeah,
warm compared to last year at this time. Right there, not too bad for us. Have lots of warm clothes and still go out and do things. Yeah, Addie stays active. I think that's a big thing right there. Just staying active in general. I
yeah.
mean, if you, Matt Sinister, the way he's exercising stuff, go to the gym, or if you have a home gym, use it. Wintertime's the best time to do that. I have a treadmill. I try to use my treadmill more in the wintertime. I don't use it much in the summer because I get enough walking outside, but in the wintertime, I try to use that more. Although with my knee being messed up right now, I'm not sure how well that's going to work this year, but we'll see.
Right.
Yeah, she's still got a headache
Yeah.
from this weather change. We had the strangest like tail end is part of that tropical storm coming through, and it hit yesterday and literally went from no rain to dumping buckets and rolling thunder. It was just insane. I thought for sure we were going to lose power last night. But as Lady Liberty will tell you, we don't lose power unless the sun's shining. I don't know why. Sir, it's a true thing. If it's a sunny day after a storm, that's when the power will go down. But during the storm, we don't lose power.
Yeah. Yeah. Mallory said moving to Chicago that she loves the first few snowfalls and just sitting next. It's like it's real peaceful sitting next to a big window, but then after that, I mean, it's just the ice storms that are bothering.
I actually don't mind snow. I don't like it when it turns to ice underneath the snow, which is what we get most of the time here in the Northeast. It'll come, it'll melt a little bit, it'll freeze, and then it snows, melts. We just had to talk about this with my buddy who lives nearby, uh, day before yesterday. About that's the part that stinks. It's the nice soft fluffy snow is beautiful, but comes with that is when it starts to melt. And Addie would really know this. When it starts to melt, those power lines start to come down and stuff like that. So you got to be in trees. So be careful
Yeah.
if you're in the Northeast. Yep, that's true, Nate. That's why I had her make me some for the stream.
Oh, Lady Liberty doesn't drink coffee though. She's allergic to caffeine.
5, 4.
I'm just kidding. She's not. Glad to get yelled at. She's
Yeah.
gonna be like, you're gonna come to my area and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
But being active is a big thing. Whether you're active, physically active, like if you can exercise, some people like my joints without having my shots. I like lock up in the wintertime, so I can get if you have to be a little less active, but then be more active socially, which is really weird for me to say because I mean,
Yep.
you
See,
wouldn't
there it is.
understand how antisocial I was. There it is. Yep, there's your answer. You're number one, Duchess.
I'm sure. No, I'm see, I think this is also like good, right? Because it's knowledge I can feed off of because it's I mean, I've already said it, so it's not a secret to anybody, right? I've had plans to move to that side of the country, right? So, um, well, that first season that comes, I'm sure will be fantastic. And be like, bro, I'm so happy that it's cold. It's fucking cold, right?
Second
And then
season
have to
will
put
come, you'll
on
be
a bunch.
like, it's okay. Third season, I'm
Yeah,
over it. I'm over it.
yeah. Like watching everything like roll back around and then turn into to winter all over again. I'm sure by that point I'll just be like, fuck it, I don't even care. It's just normal now.
Later on this week, you and I will probably get a chance to at some point. If I during the daytime, I'll try to go for a walk and we'll Zoom or something, and I'll show you some of the way the leaves are starting to
Yeah.
change and stuff here. They just started, so it's actually a really nice time of year if you're not used to the seasons changing.
Yeah. Yo, Mallory, that is the truest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. When I was in Texas, it snowed in the middle of April. Not even kidding. In the middle of April. Like it was literally the middle of the month. It snowed for one day. Granted, it melted the next day, but nonetheless, it snowed one day and literally everything in the area got immediately shut down as soon as it started to snow.
Oh, KVTV was talking to me about that when it happened. It's because no one. One of the things is nobody has snow tires because you don't need them except for when that happens. So no one has snow
Right.
tires. So you're getting out there on all seasons or summer tires. You're gonna be like on ice skates. And DC Rackley, love you, bro.
DC, what up, homie?
How's work been, DC? Um, Hanging out there with Will. Love Will. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing really well. What's the weather like down there at Will's shop? I wonder. That's got to be kind of intermediate, kind of between you and I.
I know that I've asked him a few times. I know DC could probably answer in the chat, but um,
Yeah, all season tires though compared to snow tires, not the same thing. All season is, haha, you thought there were snow tires. That's kind of the way it looks on those days when it really comes down. Hey, you thought you were getting snow
yeah,
tires? Those yeah,
uh,
okay.
I know that there's a little bit of a chill in the area or in the air for them. Things are kind of starting to cool down a little bit, and uh, leaves are kind of starting to change and stuff like that. But I don't know anything else outside of that. I don't know exactly how the weather is. Obviously, considering I'm not there, I'm sure DC could answer that question.
Yeah, Nate's right there. I kind of more three season tires. They're not really meant for that really icy winter roads. They're made for like spring, fall, summer, and a little bit of light snow.
Yeah,
And when they're brand new, they kind of work a little bit with snow tires, but that changes really quickly as they wear.
right.
I got started snows on the caddy. If that tells you anything. They're already there. I'm good. I'm ready. Snow, damn it! I can drive through you now. So yeah. Speaking of, um, as
Yes,
we
yeah, I
go
don't
through
get.
this year, hopefully, maybe, some visiting can happen around the different areas. I'm not talking about. I mean, you and I talked about the other day about possible visiting, and then there's also visiting. You know, I've seen people in the community. If you live close enough to someone and you're feeling kind of down, you might be able to get over and visit somebody in the community that you might know really well from might have known them for years. Once in a while, it's nice to actually meet up with
Oh.
these people and hang out if you can, and you do it in a safe way.
Yeah,
So, oh yeah, yeah. Anyone else? That's the other thing we had talked about. This is a bad practice, so please think twice about doing this because I'm sure we're not alone. But my buddy and I were talking about how we like to push tires to the very end. So we wind up running into the first snowstorm of the season half the time on slicks that should have been like taken off the tire rims long ago. Please be careful when you do that because the first rainstorm or something you hit, you're like, oh, that's terrible. I need to get put new tires on, and I usually had the new tires, just don't put them on, and then the next rainstorm I'm doing the same thing again. It's like, uh, don't procrastinate. It's when your life is actually potentially
right.
on the line.
Mallory, you can't say donuts. Lando will come back.
No, I thought that was custard. Um, Sorry, Lando. Yeah, that. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's true. DC's getting used to the humidity. I mean, that's something that if you move up this way, you'd have to get used to the high humid weather because it's dry there, right? It's all dry heat.
Yeah, it's dry as fuck.
Yeah, humidity is a different thing. It's like the problem with humidity is you got this wall, a few degrees above, a few degrees below. This is the comfort zone. When you have dry, your comfort zone's a little wider sometimes. Whereas when the humidity hits, it's like the cold sets in really into your bones, and then the heat just feels like you're dripping sweat before it's even hot. It's like
Mhm.
65, 70 degrees out, and you can be dripping sweat if the humidity is high enough. So it's something you're going to have to get used to. That's something you probably won't enjoy as much. But you know what they have? They have this thing called AC in the summertime and then heaters in the winter, so you might be all right. Ian, haven't seen Ian in a little bit. How you doing? So,
My donut truck just came down the road.
oh boy.
I just dropped something. I don't even know what it was.
So yeah, and use a little bit of your brain power. Do something interesting,
I'm
fun,
I'm still
and
here. I just have to.
yep. Like Duchess started doing coils quite a while back now. But I mean, at some point, it was just a hobby. He was just started out just twisting wire. You know, picking up DIY is actually a great thing right now, which is why before the end of the show we'll talk about mixers helping mixers and the Wendy Vapes channel and Tuesday night the holding down the kitchen while Fresh 03 is getting better. Check out these shows, start learning something, because if you are a part of that community and you are afraid of running out, that's something you might really want to look into, and it's a lot more fun and a lot easier if you have someone to help you. If you're doing it on your own, it becomes the apocalypse shelf where if you have absolutely no choice, you'll touch it. Otherwise, you won't. You have less of that if you actually keep a notebook, pay attention, have help. You know, Addie's always around if you really need to ask a question with that. If you want a boozy question, you want to go to Larry.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. You ask Toonie anything when it comes to mixing. I mean, I'll be like, oh yeah, grab some meringue and put that bitch in at fucking 2.26%.
Spanish rice, and it's good. I'm actually impressed with that. That turned out way better than expected. I had to do one slight tweak that actually VSO Swaggy actually helped me with himself, and that was it. And it's tolerable. She doesn't like it, but she doesn't like Spanish rice either. That's got to come out there. Keep poking myself in the eye with the spoon. Yeah, that's another thing. You know, beer or anything like that. If you for doing the yeah, check out Poon Sauce if you want to talk about beer. But if you want to make your own, I mean, there's all kinds of kits. I have a beer kit upstairs and a wine kit. There's things like that you can do at home now, and it's something that can pacify your time. You can tweak it, you can make it your own, and that I guess the best example we have here, more than even Duchess with his coils, would be Jake. The work he does with his mods and everything else he's been doing, and twisting wire, thanks to Duchess. Doing those things for yourself gives you that fulfillment. And in the wintertime, when you're really kind of feeling down, if you can succeed at something like that, it can bring you up just to know that, hey, I did that. It's just kind of like even if you're playing video games, you finally hit that level where you've been shooting for forever, and it just brings about a real natural smile out of nowhere. Let it happen. Feel it and enjoy it and think about it. Don't just let it pass. Think about that moment and try to memorize it. Try to submit it to your memory, because that can actually be something you can hold on to on a bad day. Maybe the one time when you got to hang out with somebody that you really, really enjoyed being able to see. Like if you ever got a chance to meet Addie, you know, the rest of us are kind of jealous that haven't met him yet. So, that kind of thing. He's such a great person, and be more like him. He's actually everywhere, trying to help all the time. He's been around helping people for much longer than any of us. I don't know how many other people have been around that long. Maybe I think Nick Grimm, and just a few others. There aren't very many. They've been around since like almost day one. So that's actually something to be proud of, Addie, and we really love you for it. So, and Ian, it's great to see you here. If anyone hasn't noticed, I have been trying to do my rounds and check in on everybody as much as I can. It has been a little crazy lately. I'll be honest. I've been on the phone a lot more the past few weeks because of partially the season, I think, changing, and with the new legislation, it's actually stressing people out. Which is why at the end of the show tonight here, once we get toward the end, it's going to be another one of those free for alls. If anyone wants to come in and talk about things, it's going to be for anything because I felt like I almost did a part two, like hangout things, so everybody could talk about what's going on, so we can kind of get a feel in the community what's going on.
Hey, I
But
gotta go take care of some personal stuff real quick.
no
So
worries, that's just
unfortunately, I do have to leave you guys, but I should be able to be back in a few minutes. I just gotta take care of some stuff. Otherwise, I love you all, and I'll be watching. Also, hi Ian.
Larry. I was giving it a few weeks to get better.
Yeah. So yeah, but I'll be back in a few minutes. I gotta take care of something important real quick.
Go ahead.
I do. Peace.
And as he leaves, we receive someone else. Um, but no, it's important that we keep an eye on ourselves, keep going, and there's a lot going on in the community that's affecting us. So if you can get yourself cheered up, perhaps you get yourself a pet. Pet.
Come here, you. You
Is he
want to
get?
meet other people?
Is he still a little skittish? A little bit skittish.
He is a little skittish. One sec.
No
I gotta
worries.
rename myself because apparently my wife was the last one in here on this laptop. Apparently,
I saw that when you came in. I said I had a feeling it was you like last time. But no, it's important that we keep on trying to make each other feel better and be there for each other. How many times have you and I talked because we're having a bad day and at the end of it we feel better? Just you and me.
yeah. Let me turn. There we go. Turn you up all the way. Now I can hear you properly. There we go. What's up?
Well, I would say, how did your rain affect you yesterday? I'm just curious. Now that we were talking about the weather, so I just wanted before I forget, how did the
The
rain hit you
rain
guys?
yesterday? We didn't really have rain yesterday.
Oh, you guys
We
got
had it
lucky.
overnight, but during the daytime it was warm.
The sun came out after, but it came through like torrential downpour and
Wow.
rolling thunder showers for like a couple hours, right? Like out of nowhere, the sun was shining. 5 minutes later, it was just torrential downpour, and
Holy
it
cow.
started like that. There was no like sprinkle first. It just came in like it was just a wall of like someone turned the shower on. So I was
Right.
kind of curious if it hit down a little bit lower where you were at, and not. Apparently not. So that's good.
That's a good boy. That's
Yeah,
my
Mallory.
favorite.
Thank you, by the way, for the other day. We had some more discussions. Mallory started getting me into the sports discussions this week, something I haven't thought about in a while. There he is. Look at that
There he
puppy.
is. Mr. Bubbles, huh?
Is that what you naming him?
What's that?
You gonna name him Mr. Bubbles?
No. His name
Okay.
is Whiskey.
His official name is Whiskey. He's gonna end up with 15 different stupid nicknames that we call him.
Yeah. We've
Is his
kind
middle
of
name gonna be Foxtrot?
well, we've named we kind of used the same nomenclature that they use for horses, for show horses, where they give them the really weird show name, but then they have a name that everybody calls them. And so we decided we were going to call him Whiskey. Well, we can't go with something bottom shelf, right? You can't go with the cheap shit. You got to go with the good stuff. So I went and I started browsing like really top shelf whiskeys, and I came across a brand named Macallan. And so it just so happens that me and the wife agreed on something for once. And we agreed on Macallan's Legend, and then we will all call him Whiskey. What about them Cardinals versus Titans?
I think that would be a sore subject. I don't think we should bring up. I've already had this discussion with a certain someone. He was not happy.
Oh, shoot.
I'll be honest. The Bills didn't do such. They did okay. They only lost by one, but yeah, that was a closer game. Cardinals versus Titans. Well, let's just say someone wasn't happy about the outcome.
Come on.
See, I see. See, Mallory. I paid attention. Now you got me thinking and paying attention to sports again. This might be a bad thing because I tend to jump into things head first. So yeah,
What are you doing?
you did, and you even said how it was going to go and why. I remember that was actually you called that game. You really did. Um, Ian, what have you been up to lately? You haven't been in here for a little while, so you've been doing okay, or what exactly has been going on? I mean, whatever you're willing to say. Just want to check on you, see what's up. Tabitha, you as well.
I know I mentioned it earlier. I was, yeah. I know I mentioned it earlier, and I didn't get a chance to really explain because it's hard to put words into text into chat sometimes. It's easier for me to voice it audially, verbally, rather than just putting it in chat. So I am kind of in a weird place right now. Seasonal depression is an absolute thing, and I get it. I'm in the middle of it, but in addition to the seasonal depression, there have been a lot of things outside of that that really have altered the way.
Puppy. Aw, he's cute.
Have altered the events, well, not the events, the emotions in which are running high right now over the past couple of months. As everybody knows, this dog right here would not be here if my 17-year-old boy was still with us. So the loss of my dog really hit hard. And then a couple weeks later, wasn't our horse, but my wife, as many people know, works at a horse barn. And one of the horses that was being stabled there, they were given permission to work with, to train, to ride. And unfortunately, a couple of weeks after that happened with the old dog, they had to put that horse down. 11 days ago, less than 2 weeks ago. And then just last weekend, we had to put my wife's 18-year-old cat down. So there's been a lot going on, a lot of loss in this household over the past couple of months, and it's not good for health, mental health, especially this time of year where, as we are discussing right now, seasonal depression is a real thing and can really take a beating out of somebody. That in itself, never mind the external factors outside of that. Somehow this dog, Whiskey, has turned into my saving light. Like, I don't feel the depression. I don't feel the loss right now. Just the proposition or the prospect of obtaining a new dog, this one specifically after having met him, the prospect of having another dog really made things a little bit brighter for me. He just does not want to stop being petted.
No. And when you slow down,
Hi.
he looks back at me.
Hi, buddy. Hi.
It's because
You're gonna sit on my foot?
it's because
Alright.
the whole
But,
time you've been
no.
gone, it's cute.
Oh.
And there's not. There we go. You gotta make space for him. He wants
Okay.
to sit on me and stare at you.
But I have to believe, and I'm not saying this is true for everybody, I have to believe that each one of us has something that we can turn to, or someone we can turn to, that just the idea of them being there helps us to cope with what we're dealing with. Like this family, the community that we're a part of, we don't even need to say it, to be honest with you, Tim. We say it a lot, but we don't even need to. We as a family know that each other, I'm there for you, you're there for me. It doesn't need to be said. We already know that,
Yep.
and the same goes for everybody else in chat too. I don't, I shouldn't, I need to let everybody know now that I don't have to say it. I am always there for you guys. If anybody needs to talk, anybody needs to get something off their chest, vent, tell me they're having a rough time. If you need advice, I don't know how much advice I can give you, whether it's going to be good or bad advice, but I can give advice. Um, if you're looking for anything like that, guys, it doesn't need to be said. I'm here all the time, any
Yep.
time of day. If I'm sleeping, I'll get your message when I wake up, but that's it. It's
I am happy with your situation and with the dog, though I was worried about that because you'd been talking about it. You knew it was coming.
mhm.
If it happened like now, when the seasonal depression's kicking in as well, really hard, starting to kick in. Like right now, you're starting to really feel it, just starting. But right now, if it happened now and you hadn't had a chance to get the puppy yet, I could have seen you going down a dark path again this year, and I was
Yeah,
worried about that.
absolutely, absolutely. I needed
Big
something.
G.
Big G's in the house, and he says hello to Pixie as well.
Hi, Big G.
Um,
One of my other girlfriends. I like
Love you, G. It's good to see you. I don't see someone else. It's like last Saturday I saw Stan in chat, and now Big G. It's just it's not because it's Stan. It's because these are people that I care about in the family that aren't around, and I haven't seen them in a while, and it makes me really excited when I get to see them in chat. But yeah, and for that being said, you're not alone with the losses. There, I know there's
no,
other
I'm
people
not.
this year we have talked about in chats that have lost people and pets recently, and we gotta be there for one another with that. It's really there's nothing harder. Loss at a time, especially when seasonal depression might be kicking in on top of it. People that don't have seasonal depression typically, if they're feeling kind of low, they're going to be more susceptible to having it.
Yeah, but this is definitely. I mean, like I said, in addition to the losses that we've all had to deal with lately, seasonal depression for me, especially, is a definite thing. Um, I Spring and fall, man, are the worst times of the year for me. Spring and fall. Um, I can't. It's something I can't explain personally. I know that there's scientific stuff surrounding this that, and I haven't studied it, so I don't know any of it. Eventually, I'll get there, but right now, I don't know anything about that. But spring and fall, without fail, every year drives me to a darker place, or tries to. Um, but it's not easy to get over. It's not easy to cope with. It's not easy, guys, to say I'm not okay. It's not easy to say, hey, I need someone. I need help.
That puppy's so
I have
happy.
felt helpless and hopeless and depressed for so many years. And only a few times, and only most recently, have I started telling my wife, hey, I'm not okay. I'm not doing all right.
And that is a huge step for him because from the outside, it's really, really hard. I don't suffer from seasonal depression. I've known more than enough people who do. It is really, really difficult from the outside to see someone suffering that you care about, that you love, and to see them suffering and to ask them, what are you feeling? What can I do? And to have them outright deny it, but you see it in their eating habits, you see it in their sleeping patterns, you see everything, and you know it's wrong, but they can't admit it or talk about it. Now that he can talk about it and at least bring it up, it has completely changed that aspect of our relationship because I can't support him if he doesn't tell me what he needs for support. Do you need to be left alone? Do you need a hug? Do you need me to just sit next to you in bed while you talk on here to the guys? You know, what do you need from me? What do you need from me?
You figured out the answer. He needed a puppy. Yeah, that was it. That was what it was this time. Yep. Because I see the difference. Just getting prepared for this puppy, and I'm sure you noticed this because you've been dealing with this with him. Did you see the difference when you guys first talked about the puppy to now? How he's been acting like a kid walking into a candy store. He's been getting more and more excited each day.
I do. Yeah. I also worry because with seasonal depression and with his bipolar, every high comes to a low. Yep. It comes to a crash. So my only reservation about getting the puppy was, am I ready for this? Am I ready for when he hits a low and starts to crash to pick up the pieces while he's building himself back up again, back to himself? Because it's with his depression and especially with the seasonal swings, it happens.
You need to get him a running little stream like aquarium so he can fish in it every once in a while. He'd be all happy all year. Could you see him? I mean, come on, Roxy, think about this. Could you imagine him fishing in I could see him doing it. He'd do it. Yeah, that's a good puppy.
I've missed him. I've missed not him. I've missed this.
Yep.
What?
This is what I've missed, and
the cat tries. The cat does his best. The cat really tries. He does.
You know, he does. He does. It's just not the same.
Your cat thinks he's a dog.
He does.
But yeah. Thank you for everyone is here tonight too, by the way. And if anyone is dealing with anything, please reach out to someone. Someone in this community, me, Lethal, someone, all of us.
Yeah.
Especially if you do it in like one of the Discords, including Lethal's. Lethal, your Discord is busy all the time with people just supporting each other as well. Same with, you know, the Yo-Yo, if you're a part of it. The same with the Stew Crew. I mean, it's all people supporting each other. This community, no matter where you're at, there's going to be someone there that cares about you. And it's, I mean, it's to the point where, like, DC was here. He's working for Will now. That's because of this community. He not only just did it, they hit it off and become great friends and everything, but he's actually there now. It created a connection so strong. He moved to that area to work there. That's something. That shows the power this community has for each other.
Absolutely. But I'm actually going to peace out for now. I just wanted to say my piece. I am in a little bit of a weird spot. As you know, Tim, I'm in a way better place than I normally would be this time of year right now. And I think a big part of that has a lot to do with him. I've been talking with you about this for over 3 weeks now, over a month now. No, not over a month, over 3 weeks. Yeah. But we've been talking about this for a long time, and I've been waiting, and I've been patient, and sometimes a little bit less patient, but I still, you know, I had to be patient and let this thing run its course. As upset, you know, as I was feeling about certain things at the time, you know, I'm having a rough time. It's not, you know, just think about him. Just think about him is what I had. That's what I had. But to everybody else, it's something different.
And I don't want to get you thinking about this, but I know that another thing you were dealing with, and I really am happy you got the puppy because this will help. You're thinking about switching jobs. You mentioned this. Yep. And that's still not just you, but this time of year, like your job is kind of a seasonal job anyway. So either way, you're not going to be working through the winter. because
No.
of the
Well,
season.
well, not at this job, anyways.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
mean. This job wouldn't,
yeah,
and there's other people in the community with that. That affects your seasonal affective disorder too, because
absolutely.
if you can't work and you're used to it, and you're here trying to get more active, how do you get more active when the income goes
Especially,
down, when you can't get out as much because of snow, and you're not going out to work every day? So, yeah. Oh, look at the puppy. That puppy's happy.
Go get it.
He's a good boy.
And I want to clarify something because Chris and I talked about this a lot.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, right over top of you.
getting a dog so quickly. Everyone grieves differently. I have not finished grieving over the loss of our pup. But getting the dog was more than just let's do this to give Chris something to be happy with.
Yep.
It was what can we do as a family? This is now an animal that is part for all of us. It's his pick me up when he needs to play. The dog's going to be right there and ready. When our daughter has a shit day at school, she can come up, she can plunk on the couch. That dog's going to go over and it's going to love on him. It's a whole bubble wellness thing.
It is, and yeah, the grieving thing. Only you can tell when you're ready again. But they do get. I caution on this. So a lot of people get in the funk and think they'll go years without having a pet because they feel not ready because they just can't get over that. When you get to that point, you might have been ready. You're just afraid because you don't want to feel that hurt again. Because eventually, animals don't live forever, and that's the sad part.
that's what I was just talking to her about too. Was this is going to be a good but bad thing for me, and well, bad in a very very long term, very just loss kind of way. Um, I'm going to be destroyed again, but it's worth it to me. It's like Rock said about the animals that she keeps, her rats and stuff. Well, people ask her a lot of the time, why do you bother with keeping rats? They only live for so long. Like they're only a 3-year animal. Well, like she said, sometimes the brightest candles burn the shortest, you know, and the relationship that you'll have with an animal for as long as they live, whether it be 3 years, 20, you know, can have a very big impact on you as a person. What are you doing?
You can. And I know, well, I don't know if Big G's still here. I think he said he's only popping in for a minute. But Big G's got a puppy as well. Jake's got a puppy. It's like, we're seeing a lot of puppies pop up, honestly. And
Yeah.
you're seeing a lot of happy faces that come along with that. And Jake went for a period of time, too, without a dog because of losing his
They are.
dog. And it's sad. It hurts. I kind of got pushed into it because I had to adopt these animals at the time, shortly after my other dogs were gone, and that's how I got the last few animals. So it's kind of like I knew it was better for them, and in the end, it turned out better for me as well. I got a short candle. Oh God, TC, I love you, brother. I love you. Yeah, and and
Got a
Mallory's
short
got a big
candle.
back wiener dog. That's right too. Yep.
You know,
What are you?
but no, that's
I think this is what they meant by when he wants attention, you'll know he'll demand
You'll
it.
know he wants it. He wants the attention for you too. He wants you both of you. He doesn't want just one of you
Wait
either.
from him when he does that.
I don't think so. This is they said it could take up to a couple of weeks for him to want to be around us.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Involved
You-
at this point.
Less than 30 minutes, we had him at this house, and he was like this.
I was hoping it wouldn't be well, because sometimes it can be tedious when you got an animal that's kind of standoffish for a long time.
It's still just the very beginning of the transition for him, but so far it looks very promising. It looks like he's going to have a great home here.
Him being in a home might have been it. It feels more natural to him. Being at the shelters, it doesn't feel the same. So they tend. I had a cat like that once. It was kind of it liked us a lot, but it was acting weird when we first got it. I was even skeptical about it. And once we got home, same thing. As soon as it knew it was in a home and not in the shelter, it was fine.
Well, it's funny because he was picked up as a stray, and he was kept out in Georgia for quarantine and for neutering and for healing.
Yeah, we've got a rubber ball, Mallory. We've also got one of those big Kong toys too.
And then he was sent up here, and within 24 hours at the shelter, the behavior specialist at the SPCA said this is not conducive to us figuring out what kind of dog is under him. And she said it took a full 48 to 72 hours for him to even want to start approaching her. So for him to go from that, he arrived at the SPCA to stay on August 13th, which ironically is the day we had to put our old man down.
It is. Yep.
And so for 2 weeks before that, he was in a home. And she said it took her that long to get him to settle. And as you can see, it took a half an hour. And he came in like a wrecking
And he's perfectly content now. He's happy.
For some reason, thinks that Daddy is for loving and I am for chewing.
Our cat, you got a cheese stick, he'll love you forever. As soon as I touch the cheese sticks, that cat is my best friend. He would climb on my computer if need to get to it. So,
but no, he does. He this
he's a good boy.
Makes me so happy.
No. Thank
Not
you.
that like biting her thing that doesn't make me very happy, but
No.
him just being and being as happy as he is right now shows me a very different animal than what we'd had described to us, and shows me
He is a good chunk of what they described.
he is. He's very shy, but it didn't take him anywhere even close to as long to get at least reasonably comfortable in this house as it took him. And that shows to me that yes, where he is, I'm going to put this in the most plainest of terms. I know you guys understand the term, and it might be hard to understand that the dog might be like this, but he has special needs. He has very special needs, and it's going to take a lot of work, patience, and discipline on both me and Roxanne's end in helping him to be the best dog he can be. And hi babies. I know. But it's something we wanted to take on. And this, the way he's been since he came back to this house, shows us a lot that is going to happen with him. He's going to make it far here. He's going to make it far. So, but anyways, brother, I love you. I'm going to head out. But I just wanted to pop in and let you know where I'm sitting right now as far as seasonal depression and what's going on.
It makes me feel a lot better. It makes me feel a lot better for both of you that this is working out so well the first day. Because honestly, I was going to worry a little bit more about you. Now I don't have to worry as much. You just took a little worry off me just being able to see you with the puppy today. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because you know how I am. I do worry about everybody. That's just me. That's my job.
My dog will bring you a ball. Once you throw it, he becomes your new best friend. Yeah, really, right? That's it.
And Adam.
All right, guys.
Adam.
Peace out, guys. Rock on. Stay metal. And I'll talk to y'all soon.
Say bye, Whiskey.
Bye, Whiskey.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Sure.
So that said, you see that pets can make a huge difference. Adam's here. You want to talk pets? And if you haven't had an opportunity to ever meet, Adam's cat, oh yeah, that's a pet and a half right there too. And Adam, hey, we're talking about things you can do for seasonal depression. Listen to some music, especially if you have some friends that play some pretty good music and maybe a few little covers here and there and stuff like Adam. It makes it more fun. You got Michelle, Lynn as well. these are the people that I really enjoy, because it's not just, you don't just get the feeling from the music, you get the feeling from the person because you know them. So it gives you that inside feel. And you feel the fun in it. Like with Adam, with his covers, some of the ones you can kind of feel like that. The fun way he was trying to get out of it. You know it. If you know him well enough, you get it out of the music. And that can be a huge thing when you're dealing with seasonal depression. That said, I'm not going to stay on too much longer because Nick is on in 25 minutes. And I know a lot of people jump over. Unless someone else wants to come in. I mean, Adam, you can hop in if you want. By the way, Adam, go ahead and put the link to your music in the chat so that people can find you, find your band, Eddie and the Arsons, or maybe if you have any of their. Well, you got your music listing. So I just want everyone to be okay. Make sure you reach out to the community if you need it, because the community's here. You know, family's not always all blood. I am dealing with a little bit with my nieces, and their mother became homeless during this past week. They had a house fire and they lost everything. The whole house went up while they were at school. So that I've been dealing with all week. So there's a little bit of personal thing going on as well. But there's other people in the community that need help, need that support. My family's doing okay. Their other grandparents, I've got them staying with them so they can stay in the same school district at school, so they're doing okay. They did have a GoFundMe up. It's in the Discord that I'm not sure. I'm imagining some of the anonymous donations were from maybe the Discords. Thank you very much. It helps. And she's trying to find another place for them to move to. Their mother is. So thank you. That means a great deal to me. It makes a great deal to my family, as well as whenever this community comes together and helps someone. Like the Mixers Helping Mixers on Sunday. That was Trucker's channel. The fact that that's being kept alive is such a special thing in this world. Camera right. Nah, no worries, Adam. But that Mixers Helping Mixers, because of what Mike wanted it to be. He wanted it to continue past him, and that's a huge thing. You know, he was always about this positivity, trying to keep people happy, trying to help people all the time. That's great. Fresh 03 on Tuesday nights. Same thing. Having the meter pick up the mantle while he's out. This is what this community does. It doesn't just do a little bit here, a little bit there. They help as much as they can. There are people in the community, you know, on a higher up level that are just about money. There always is. But the majority of this community really cares, has a huge heart. And I am talking about the vape community. However, there's beyond the vape community. There's family, there's friends, there's people that just care about mental health that can be here for this show. Same thing. Don't be afraid to reach out to one of the vape community, because they will be there for you, because that's just what we do. That's what this community is built on, is caring, trust, love. And there's no reason not to continue that. Yeah, that's true. The dog was lost in the fire as well. In fact, that's probably what they suspect. The fan got knocked over by the dog is what caused the fire. Because she left the fan on when she was taking kids to school in the morning. So, unfortunately, yes. That, and talking about losing animals, that's actually always a tough thing. What I'm trying to work on right now is I don't know what they have. I haven't talked to the girls in a couple days since this happened, because they've been busy trying to figure everything out. But I know their mother was trying to use that GoFundMe to help her get another place for them for the winter, is what she's trying to do with that. Her sister set it up. And I don't know, trying to figure out what else they might need. I haven't figured it. I got to talk to them more, see what they haven't gotten. But there's plenty of this community that need help all the time. There's plenty of people that could use a reach out. And if you haven't heard from somebody, you know, I have. Big G, you know it. I've reached out to you before. I probably just about half this chat, if not more, I do reach out to, because you're part of my family. You will always be a part of my family for as long as you'll have me, because it matters. It makes a difference. Addie, I worry about your family. I mean, that's where it goes. It doesn't matter. Your mom, I don't, That's what we should do. If someone's going through something, if someone's family's going through something, be there for them, help them out. Karma, it's all about karma and continuing on what you know is the right path. I love you all. You guys have a great night, and I will see many of you over on Nick's channel later in chat. And we'll have a good time over there and figure out what that question mark on that bag is, because I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm a little bit curious because it's Nick. You never really know what he's going to get into. It could be something interesting. It might have more to do with what's going on with the whole tax situation, which is unfortunately could crush an industry. Could crush us as DIYers as well. So, please make sure you sign up and fill out whatever you can to try and help the legislation be stopped. I love you all. You all have a great night. And don't forget banana balls tonight in Nick's chat. Love you. Peace.